Welcome, friends. Thank you for coming out on this beautiful day to honor the legacy of John Lewis and all of these leaders who have fought in the past and continue to fight today for our right to vote. John Lewis said, "My greatest fear is that one day we are going to wake up and our democracy is gone." John Lewis, during the course of his lifetime, fought for the right of Black Americans to participate in our democracy. He fought against literacy tests to be able to register to vote. He fought against poll taxes that were used to prevent people who didn't have money from voting. And we are here today honoring this legacy in the context of a current administration in Washington, D.C. that is attempting to do more to roll back voting rights than we have seen in decades. This administration, through a March 25th executive order, and this Congress, through passing the SAVE Act out of the House of Representatives, where it waits for action in the Senate, is attempting to disenfranchise millions of Americans by requiring every single American to be able to prove their citizenship with the appropriate documents in order to be on the voter registration rolls. Yes. So why is this a problem? We don't want non-citizens voting, right? Well, the reason it's a problem is because of the millions of Americans who don't currently possess a document that proves their citizenship. Or perhaps they changed their name because they were adopted, or because they changed their name when they were married, and they don't have that corresponding document, that court order or that marriage license that proves that their name at birth matches their name today so that they can prove that they should have the right to vote. And the fact of the matter is, this is a solution that is in search of a problem, because we know from analysis of millions and millions of votes in the United States of America that the instances of someone who is not a citizen voting in American elections is extremely small. So, for the opportunity to possibly eliminate the 0.000% of times when a non-citizen cast a ballot, we are going to risk disenfranchising 21 million Americans. That's the right answer. So this bill, this SAVE Act, and the accompanying executive order that unconstitutionally tries to accomplish the same things are hot topics among secretaries of state right now. And we recognize across the board, some of us more vocally than others, that requiring each citizen to prove their citizenship is unworkable. How many Americans live far away from where they were born? How many Americans don't have a computer and a printer at home where they could print out the request form to get their birth certificate from far away? I spoke with a dear colleague in the legislature. She was born in Texas. She lives here in Vermont now. And she said her birth certificate, because when she was born, she was immediately put up for adoption, says baby girl. How does she, a sitting representative in the Vermont House of Representatives, prove her citizenship if this goes through? John Lewis fought against poll taxes, and the SAVE Act is nothing more than a poll tax that will require every single citizen to jump through hoops, to spend money, to access a passport when maybe they didn't need one for $130. How many Americans will simply say, well, I'm not going to vote? And I think it's clear that the SAVE Act and the executive order that accompanies it are nothing more than an attempt to disenfranchise Americans. So John Lewis said, too many people struggled, suffered, and died to make it possible for every American to exercise their right to vote. So we are going to continue that struggle. We are going to continue to resist. We are going to continue to march and to call our elected leaders in Washington, D.C. and say no. In a democracy, everybody votes. And that's the way we need to hold on to it. That's why we're here, to celebrate the work that John Lewis did to struggle for that right to vote, and we will maintain that struggle going forward. Thank you so much for being here.